He is the prime minister.
Yes.
He's got a nice flow.
He has a great set of hair. And what was he? What did he do before he was prime minister? Does anyone know?
Teenage heartthrob?
He was a drama teacher.
Was he a drama teacher? Really? Because that's like pretty sad, right? Like we have in the States, they got a fucking like a businessman or whatever, but we have a drama teacher. Like he honestly
amateur boxer.
Good call.
I don't know. I tried to like him because he was my age, and I wanted to like have a guy my age not fuck things up. But it's like, ugh, this guy. He makes us all seem like pussies, man. First guy my age to lead a country. He's like so much of a pussy. Like, don't you agree?
People still like him.
We had tried to get him on the show, but he has not returned our calls.
No.
He has not returned our calls.
He was in London today.
He's
Was
missing
he?
out.
Yeah.
He's so close.
So
He
close.
was in Hamilton last night, London
Doesn't
today.
like the smoke.
Oh yeah, that's probably
he likes
it.
the
Loves
smoke.
the taxes, though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, the only other thing I wanted to talk about before we get into our segment, that you know what it's called.
Before.
Before there's one more thing, and I don't want to talk about it too much on this show, but I do want to mention it. And this is the Logan Paul controversy. Has anyone heard of the Logan Paul controversy?
Just recently.
Yeah, and it was Logan Paul. Now we bought our nephew, your son, a shirt, Logan Paul shirt.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because this kid sells merch, and he's one of these California douchebag people that has a YouTube channel, and kids love him, right?
Yep.
He's huge with kids, like young kids, right? And they go to the suicide forest or something in Japan, and they film. They're going through the suicide forest, and they actually stumble upon a dead body hanging from the tree, and they show a dead body. So there's all these kids out there that are seeing for the first time a real life dead person on YouTube.
Yeah.
And this guy, to his credit, I guess, for a douche, they did try to make some sort of statement about it, like to try to say this is like, if you're having trouble, get help, and this isn't the way to get out and all that stuff. But meanwhile, they use the picture of the dead body as their promo stuff, their thumbnail for everything, And so as a result, they caught a lot of shit, and this guy lost all his sponsorship on YouTube and everything like that. By the way, I worry about the stuff I say on this program that I can put it on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. And it turns out my kids, I walk past what they're watching, and you hear like stuff that's way worse than our fucking program, that's for sure. And they're all just a bunch of douches that are just talking about their cars or their how rich they are or how successful or whatever. I don't get it. And
It's because you're considerate.
yeah, you know what I think we should do? I think we should have a show where we have to like go to our kids and ask them what they're watching, and then watch it,
Oh, no. let's
And
not.
reaction videos.
and then basically just put on clips of what our kids are watching and like try to make sense of it.
We could sell it to people our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be watching the kid videos like of other people watching.
Yeah, the thing is, the
Fuck,
people
eh?
making these kids videos are adults, and they're not making them really for kids. They're making it for other 20-year-old like
People that are dressing up in weird shit.
other college kids or whatever, or just young people that are out fucking and like wanting to go to clubs and stuff. Like those awesome days
I had never heard of this Logan Paul guy until
till the controversy.
Yeah, and even then I didn't even hear about it in the news. My son told me about this guy, and my son was like disappointed, because he knows this guy.
He had
He's
watched
like,
his shows.
My
Yeah.
kids were devastated. He got banned for 15 days or whatever. And Logan came up in the morning and told me, like, Logan Paul's banned for 15 days. They're showing a dead body. He's like, what am I going to watch for 15 days?
When Pete first brought it up, I thought he was talking about you and your son.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that
Oh,
could be
Logan
what-
Paul. Yeah.
Logan and
Oh
Paul.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's this guy's huge, man. Like their followings are like millions of kids or whatever, but millions of people. But they don't realize how many of them are kids.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the question: what happens if Live from the Dutch Hall becomes an internet success, right? But it's all fucking 13-year-old boys, right? That's all that listens to our show. We're huge. We got 1 million listeners now, but they're all a bunch of kids. And now all of a sudden, every time I talk about first time I jerked off because I saw the guy in the movie do it.
Through white ropes.
Yeah. Then I'm setting a bad example for children who are listening to the show, right?
Yeah, is that your fault?
Is it my
Is
fault?
that our fault?
Because right now, who would you say we're marketing to this show? Bailey, you're a super fan of the show,
Why?
so
Come on, Steve.
Come on, that's the question everyone wants to know.
yeah, that is actually a pretty good question.
I think you're marketing to people like local people, but it's people 20 to probably 50. I mean, your dad listens. I don't know how
Yeah.
old he is, but
Yeah, but actually, to be honest with you,
He's
I
like
have
45.
had high school kids, to people in their 60s, and men and women. It's like an even split. I can't even like people say because I had to go I'm trying to step up my marketing, like try to get into, and so I say they're like, "What's your target audience?" I'm like, I don't know, people that are alive between like 16 and between 16 and 65, 70. 16 and 70,
Okay.
male and female. That's basically the entire world.
Big
Pretty
range.
much
Big range.
anyone who will listen.
Yeah, it's basically everybody. And there's no like
I think that's a positive, though.